As the woman stared in horror at the figure behind her, Ophelia did not know why the woman was so scared. She had thought a few seconds ago she had a sharp mouth, and she had thought the woman was about to rain insults on her, but something stopped her. What was that thing? She asked herself as she turned slowly to gaze at what was behind her. It was her husband. She turned immediately and looked at the horror still visible on the woman's face. Quickly, the woman started to speak. "I'm really sorry, Mr. Prescott, I'm really sorry," she said with fear evidently on her face, and then she hurried away from there. Ophelia instantly turned to her husband. "Who was that woman?" she asked. "It's one of the passengers on the ship," Alex replied. "I know it's one of the passengers on the ship, but who was she exactly? Is it not weird, or is it just me? The way she reacted to you was like she saw an evil spirit right in front of her." "Who was she?" Ophelia asked her husband curiously, wanting to know who the strange woman she had encountered was and why she was so scared. "Forget that woman. That woman is nothing but mischief personified. She's just being dramatic. Don't mind her. I will not allow anyone to insult the wife of Alexander Prescott. That was why I went after your mother and warned her off you. Nobody dares insult my wife," Alexander said. Passers-by heard him as he spoke. They all knew who he was. If they did not know, now they did. If Ophelia was connected with this man, now they knew. "Thank you, Alexander. You just saved me from another round of insults and bullying. I have you to thank for it," Ophelia said appreciatively. "Can we go and rest in our cabin now?" he asked his wife. She nodded in response, and once he saw that, he bent his arm so that she could take it as he led her carefully down the stairs into the cabin. As they entered the cabin, Alexander served both of them moe, which was sitting in the ice bucket. He served the bubbly drink in each glass and gave one to his wife. "Let's toast, my love, this is us together forever," Alex said. An eerie feeling came upon Ophelia. "Why does this feel like a covenant of sorts?" she said. "This is because we are married, and marriage in itself is a covenant between you and me. We are together forever, and nothing on this earth can separate us," he said, moving toward her, one hand in his pocket and the other holding the glass. Suddenly, he clinked his glass with hers, and took a sip of his drink without breaking eye contact. Ophelia took a sip of hers as well, trying to figure this man out. "If we had arrived at Marseille in the daytime, I would have taken you around, but unfortunately, we came at night. So let's just let the ship take us straight to Nepal, then Rome. We will be in Rome around 11 a.m., he informed her. "You mean we are really going to Rome?" she asked excitedly, not wanting to believe that what he had said previously was true. "Yes, we are. I told you, didn't I?" he asked as he moved from in front of her and went to sit down, placing his glass carefully on the table and crossing his legs. "Yes, you did, but I thought you were just trying to pull my leg," she explained. "Well, I want to show you the world. I want to show you what it feels like to be in my world because you are everything to me," he said matter-of-factly. "Okay, only on one condition," Ophelia said, crossing her arms on her chest. "And what's that?" he said cautiously, narrowing his eyes at her. "You would have to tell me more about you. I want to know you, Alexander. Is it too much to ask? I need to know who you are. You are supposed to be my husband, but to me, you are a stranger." "Why is that so?" Ophelia asked incredulously. "Ophelia, don't worry. When I show you my world, you'll know who I am, because when I tell you now, you'll find it difficult to believe me. But I intend to show you so you know me well," he assured her. "All right, can we sit by the balcony over there?" Ophelia said, pointing to where she wanted them to sit. "Oh, the balcony that they said lovers can get intimate? That is where you want us to go?" Alex said with a twinkle in his eye. "But we are not getting intimate, Alex, so let us just remain where we are here. Don't let your mind go there. We are not getting intimate at all," Ophelia retorted, and Alexander laughed. The way he always laughed at her made her feel like there was some secret he knew about her that she did not know about herself, and he was laughing only because she would soon find out who she really was. This puzzled her a bit. When they were done sipping the wine, they only spent a few minutes on the balcony looking at the stars and how the water below reflected the light of the stars as it sparkled in the night. They felt the sea breeze on their faces, and they could taste the saltiness of the water spraying on them. After a while, Ophelia got up. "I'd like to go to bed now. I'm quite exhausted from the day's activities," she said, yawning. He too got up. "Okay, let's go to bed together," he said. "No, don't come with me to bed. Stay here. When I'm asleep, you can come then," she responded. "So you like it when you're asleep?" he said with his 2 hands in his pockets. "Really, Alex?" Ophelia said with consternation. "Anyway, I have nothing to say to you." She stomped away from in front of him and went straight to the bathroom and took a shower. Afterward, she went straight to bed. When he saw that she wasn't going to go outside anymore, he went to do the same, taking his shower and go to lay on the bed beside her. He looked at her for a long time. "You're mine, Ophelia, and you are going nowhere. You are all mine. Forget any life you had before now. It's gone. I am your life, and you are mine," he said to her, but she couldn't hear what he said as she was fast asleep. The wine had gotten to her, so she was already snoring lightly. He too fell asleep almost immediately. They both did not get up until late the following morning. Once they got up, Ophelia carried out her morning routines, as did Alexander. They changed into comfortable outfits. Ophelia had on a light blue dress covered with petals, and Alexander wore a short-sleeved shirt and wooden-colored pants. They both looked like 2 honeymooners. In a few seconds, a knock came on their door. The room service came to serve them their breakfast. As Alexander had instructed, there were plates and bowls of different breakfast meals. It was like a mini buffet in their room. She expected to arrive in Rome any moment as she kept looking at her watch. Alexander had given her a particular time yesterday, and she was eager to see Rome. The big ship slowly came into the port of Rome. It was a sunny day. Many people stood on the deck, looking at the city. Ophelia was excited about seeing Rome. The porters had come to collect their bags. When it was time, they walked down the ramp from the ship. Their feet touched the ground in Italy. They saw tall buildings and heard the sounds of the busy city. The air smelled different from the sea air on the ship. Alexander and Ophelia were the first to come out. They walked through a big building at the port. Then they were out on the streets of Rome. They felt happy to start their visit to this old and famous city. A limo was parked and waiting for them. The porters put their luggage into the limo. The couple headed to the hotel. When they arrived at the most expensive hotel in Rome, Ophelia's eyes widened with wonder. The building stood tall and grand, its old stone walls telling stories of the past. As they stepped inside, they felt like they had entered another world. The lobby was huge, with high ceilings that seemed to touch the sky. Shiny marble floors stretched out before them, so clean they could see their reflections. Big crystal chandeliers hung from above, sparkling like stars and filling the room with warm light. Soft red carpets led the way to the front desk, which was made of dark wood and had golden details. The staff wore neat black suits and smiled warmly as they greeted the guests. To the left, there was a sitting area with big comfy chairs and sofas covered in rich red fabric. Small tables held vases full of fresh flowers that made the air smell sweet. Paintings of old Rome hung on the walls, showing scenes from long ago. On the right, glass doors opened to a garden. Inside, plants and trees grew tall, and a small fountain bubbled in the center. The sound of water was relaxing, and birds chirped happily in the branches. As they walked to the elevator, they passed a long hallway lined with mirrors and more paintings. The elevator itself was like a small room, with padded walls and a chandelier of its own. Ophelia gasped as they opened the door. The windows were huge, showing a beautiful view of Rome. The bed was big enough for 3 people, covered in soft white sheets and fluffy pillows. The bathroom was all white marble, with a bathtub so big it looked like a small pool. Gold taps shone in the light, and thick towels hung nearby, ready for use. A writing desk sat in one corner, made of the same dark wood as the front desk. In another corner there was a small table with 2 chairs, perfect for eating breakfast while looking out at the city. Everything in the room felt special and expensive. The carpet was thick and soft under their feet. The curtains were heavy and rich, ready to block out the sun for a good night's sleep. "Alex?" She called his name once she saw the concierge had left. "Yes, Ophelia?" Alex said, turning to her. "I want to go to Venice and ride on one of those gondolas," Ophelia asked. "Is that all you want? Then we'll go tomorrow. I promise you will enjoy more than that," Alexander said. Alexander decided to take his wife shopping. "Ophelia, let's go get some outfits," he suggested. Ophelia agreed with him. Once they came out from their presidential suite, they went straight to the elevator and rode down to the foyer. Looking around, Alexander wondered where the concierge was and then gestured for him to come over. "We need the limousine ASAP," Alexander ordered. "Of course, sir," the concierge said. He went away to look for the driver. When he found him, he brought him to Alexander. "Look at this lovely couple over here. You must always be at their beck and call throughout their stay in this hotel. Am I clear?" the man said as the driver nodded his head in understanding. As they got into the limo, Alexander told the driver to take them to where they could get high-end clothes and designer outfits. The driver took them to all the places with these boutiques: Chanel, Versace, Giorgio, and the rest. When they were done shopping, they stepped out of the limo, Alexander holding his wife's hand. As they looked across from them, they saw